Hey everyone. We are on day 6 of e-learning, and today we're going to focus more on the surface area of rectangular prisms, which we kind of explored yesterday. Okay, I'm going to go over some notes first. Remember, to find the area of a rectangle, you take length times width. Okay, the surface area of a rectangular prism with a length that's L, width is going to be W, and height is H for our formula is the sum, or when you add up all of the area of the faces. So when we did our practice yesterday, we added up all the numbers. Well, we can simplify it a little bit and use this formula for surface area that is 2 times the length times the width plus 2 times the length times the height plus 2 times length times width plus 2 times height times width. So I have an example here. When we practiced yesterday, we had a rectangular prism and we unfolded it and we had all of these different parts. Okay. Then we added up length times height plus length times height plus length times width plus length times width plus height times width plus height times width. We can simplify that and take it 2 times length times height plus 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height. So this is going to be our main formula we're going to focus on. Okay. Um, When a three-dimensional figure is decomposed or flattened, like I had with the Cliff Bar box yesterday, okay, and it's separated into shapes, this is called a net. So whenever you see this example and it's referred to what is the surface area of this net or of the rectangular prism, this is what it means. I have another example that I am going to go over, okay, finding this area of a rectangular prism. So I already have the net here, okay? So if I find the area, the surface area of each of the pair of faces, the front and back of my rectangular prism would have been 2 times 8 times 6, which is 2 times 48, okay? That is my green boxes here because I have two number 48s. The top and bottom would be 2 times 7 times 8 or 2 times 56 because I have two yellow areas, okay? The sides would be 2 times 7 times 6 or 2 times 42 because I have two of those numbers. So instead of adding up 48 plus 56 plus 56 plus 42 plus 42 and getting 292, I could take 2 times 48 plus 2 times 56 plus 2 times 42, getting my total answer of 292 square meters because this is surface area, so it has that squared part to it. My second example here before you start practicing on your own, okay? Finding the surface area of this rectangular prism. If I had the area dimensions here, my length is 7, my width is 4.8, and my height is 6. I would fill in my numbers here. So the front and back is length times height. So my length is 7, my height was 6. So that is 2 times 7 times 6, or I'm going to pull out my calculator here and know that 2 times 42 is 84. Okay. This is the process you're gonna do when you do it independently. So I'm gonna take my top and bottom, 2 times length times width. My length again was 7. This times my width is 4.8. And again, I'm going to take advantage of using a calculator and know that 2 times 7 times 4.8 is 67.2. Now I have my two sides, 2 times the height times the width. My height was 6 and my width again was 4.8. So I'm going to use my calculator again to figure out this answer and know that 2 times 6 times 4.8 is 57.6. So then I've transferred all of my final answers here and I have to add them and I get my total answer of 208.8 square centimeters. Okay, now you guys are going to start practicing. Okay, our first one here. I have your length, width, and height labeled, and I've color coded this to kind of make this a little bit easier, okay? So my length is 5, my width is 3, and my height is 9. I'm finding the surface area. I'm going to use the formula 2 times length times height plus 2 times length times width plus 2 times height times width. The first thing I do, okay, go ahead and pause my video now, get out a piece of paper because you're going to have to write this out on the other ones we're going to practice. I plugged in each of my numbers. The purple is 5, so I plugged in 5 in each of those, okay? And I know that I have to do my height, so that's 9, okay? So what is 2 times 5 times 9? Now my next part of my formula is 2 times the length, which is 5, and times my width, which is times 3. So what is 2 times 5 times 3? And my last part, 2 times the height times the width. I know that my height is 9 and my width is 3. I have to be able to multiply all the different parts of the sides. So what is 2 times 9 times 3? Okay, now you have all three of these answers that you've given. I hope you wrote them down. Now I want to know, what is the total surface area of the first rectangular prism? Okay, number 2. I have labeled for you, the length is 7, the width is 4, and the height is 8. This time, I'm giving you the formula: surface area, 2 times the length times the height, plus 2 times the length times the width, plus 2 times the height times the width. Now, my next questions are going to be very specific, so make sure, write out the formula here. I have it color coded, put the right answers in order. So what is 2 times the length times the height? Now tell me, what is 2 times the length times the width? Now tell me, what is 2 times the height times the width? Okay, you should have those three answers that you just gave me. If you messed up, make sure you use the correct answer. Tell me, what is the surface area of number 2? Okay, number 3, we have one with some fractions. Okay, my length is 9 and 1/2, my width is 3, and my height is 1 and 1/2. So now tell me, make sure, write out this formula first. You should have a pencil and paper right now to write this out. Tell me, what is 2 times the length times the height? What is 2 times the length times the width? And what is 2 times the height times the width? Okay, you should have just given me those three answers. If any of your answers were wrong, make sure you use the correct answer. Tell me, what is the total surface area of the third rectangular prism? Okay, number 4, you guys are doing a great job. My length for this rectangular prism is 17. The width is 5 and the height is 4. Tell me, again, write out this formula right here on your notebook paper. Okay, pause the video if you need to. Tell me, what is 2 times the length times the height? Now, what is 2 times the length times the width? Now, what is 2 times the height times the width? Okay, you now have those three numbers. If you missed any of those numbers, make sure you use the correct answer. Tell me, what is the total surface area for the fourth rectangular prism? Okay, this last one you are going to do on your own, okay? I do not have the length, width, and height identified, but I'll read the story problem here. Maya is covering a necklace box with gift wrap. The necklace box is 15 centimeters long, 8 centimeters wide, and 2 centimeters high. What is the minimum surface area of the paper that will cover the box? Write out this formula. I only want you to tell me, what is the total surface area for this box? Thank you, guys.